So now that we have our hamburger nice and browned, we're going to go ahead and take a homemade sauce. So what we have going is hot water for our spaghetti noodles. We have our sauce on a low simmer, which I'm getting ready to add because all this is just tomato puree that I made last year. And then we're going to get our ground beef from our local butcher ground up. And then we'll get these in single serve to go containers. That way it's just easier for my hubby to pull out. Alrighty, so back here and my spaghetti sauce that I'm making. I'm put some black pepper, some of my smoked salt, some garlic powder, some onion powder, and some Italian seasoning. And then I usually let my spaghetti sauce simmer for about an hour or so. Then we got our water heating up to put our spaghetti noodles in. But we're going to make them like al dente. We're not going to cook them all the way through because you want to leave them a little bit dense. That way when you go to heat them back up, they're not all mush. Get my seasonings well incorporated in my sauce back here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat up on my water so we can get that cooking a little bit faster. Then we're going to go ahead and get the heat going on our skillet to get our beef brown from our local butcher. I don't want to show the name because I don't want to give away where I'm at, but we're going to go ahead and get this processed. So now that my water is nice and hot, I'm going to go ahead and get my noodles put in. Some people like to crack them in half. I'm not going to. I will let them cook and soften. When they soften, I'll push them down into the pan. So now we got our pan nice and heated up. I'm going to go ahead and put my ground beef in my pan. And it's still just a little bit frozen. Not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and season this up too. I'm going to go ahead and put some smoked salt. Some pepper. Some garlic powder. We're going to go ahead and let that brown up. I'm just going to continue. You can see as my noodles cook, I'm able just to push them down because I don't want to break them. So I'll let those cook probably another 5 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and get them emptied out into a strainer and cool them down with some cool water. I don't want the cooking process to continue because I am putting them in the freezer. As you see in the previous videos, we have had a morning full of cooking. But you gotta do what you gotta do to get ready for things that you have coming up. Get our beef nice and browned. Alrighty, friends, so we're gonna bring over our noodles. I'm gonna get my cold water turned on. And I'm using cold water because I want to stop the cooking process. Only because these are going into the freezer. So I don't want the noodles to be all the way cooked. I want them to be al dente. So now that we have our hamburger nice and browned, we're going to go ahead and take a homemade sauce. We're going to go ahead, get it in with our hamburger. I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer probably for about 20 minutes or so. That way all my flavors can get nice and incorporated. So while this simmers, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my kitchen reset, get my dishes done. So that way when we're done with this, we can go ahead and get this packaged up. Alrighty, friends, so as we wait for our sauce to come to a nice simmer, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get these noodles divided into containers. Alrighty, friends, so now that we got our sauce nice and simmered, we'll go ahead and put it on our spaghetti. And then these are the perfect size for your single serve containers. If they want more, they can grab another container, but usually one does them because we'll make some garlic bread and stuff for the day that they have it, so that way it's fresh. Alrighty, friends, so now that we got our spaghetti packaged up in our containers and put up, we're going to go ahead and end this video. So I hope you all have a wonderful and a blessed day. Stay true to one another. Remember, God is always on your side. If you have any problems, turn to God. Read your Bible. So once again, friends, I thank you for coming and joining me in my kitchen this morning.